Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is Manifest with Me in March, episode 16. How are you guys doing out there with the full moon? It is quite a full moon. It's actually a blue moon, the second full moon in the month, and there are a lot of intense energies coming up right now. As with all full moons, this time is all about releasing and letting go. It's actually helping us release our resistance so that we can manifest what it is we desire. So if you guys have been following my Manifest with Me in March journey, so far we've talked about just clearing the way to receive. We've talked about setting intentions. We even painted our intentions and wrote them down on a piece of paper. But here today at the full moon, this is the time where we are letting go. So if you have a list of everything you've written, this is the time where you burn the list, or you bury the list, or you take the list and you put it in a bowl of water. So choose your own ritual. Those are just some ideas of what I like to do on the full moon. I actually just took all my lists and I threw them away because I'm getting rid of a ton of stuff right now. So I just threw it away, back to the earth. Thankfully, I like to write my lists on biodegradable, natural, recycled paper, so always be kind to the earth. But I'm pretty excited because I feel like if you guys are in any situation like I'm in, I'm trying to manifest some huge things and some huge dreams into my life right now. So what I wanted to do for this episode of Manifest with Me was honestly just to encourage you guys to do some kind of ritual to release your expectations, to release any resistance you have, any fears you have about manifesting what it is that you desire. And if you still haven't decided what you want yet and haven't even manifested anything, you can still ask the full moon, you can still ask Mother Earth, you still have time to ask for what it is that you want, but make sure that you find a way to release your expectations and just let it go, because it is in the universe's hands now, and it's up to the universal energies and the universal forces to partner with the momentum and the energies you've already created to bring you what it is you've asked for. So let's go ahead and pull some cards for you guys about the full moon and about your manifestations. Let's see what the messages are to help us further along this path. Okay, so there's a lot coming up right now. Okay. One of the first things I'm seeing is that a lot of people's home situations are changing, or people are starting to feel a shift, like they're going to need to change their home situation soon. Personally, all of my possessions are currently packed up into 2 suitcases, and it's a really interesting transition time for me. And I also know that a lot of my friends and a lot of the people I know and a lot of you guys who've been hitting me up, a ton of my clients have been talking about just leaving it all behind and packing up and going somewhere, or finally making that move, or moving into a better home, or going to a nicer neighborhood, or moving to a lifestyle or a place that fits you better. So I do see movement. I do see a lot is going on in the home situation. There's a lot going on in relationships. I've been speaking to so many people lately who've been experiencing breakups and conscious uncoupling, and people who have been meeting new partners spontaneously, soulmates, twin flames being united. So there's a lot of shift happening in this area as well. A lot of people are worried about finances right now. We do have Jupiter in retrograde. I believe it's going to return direct in July. So it doesn't mean that you're not going to have money till July. It's just, it might not be the time for huge expansion. It just depends how it affects you and your sign. Some people might actually still have a lot of expansion during this time. But they're saying to be aware, to develop your spiritual practice, to remember that you have the ability to manifest money. And I might even do some money manifestation exercises as we head into April, actually. So we're working on this, the abundance. I see a lot of people are having these awakenings. I mean, just huge awakenings where you're just getting these downloads of information, or you're getting inspired, or you're getting bright ideas, or you're just realizing like you want to take your life in like a new direction. So it's a really beautiful time of new beginnings and like starting over and fresh starts. Yes, there's a lot of grief coming up. You guys, I have seen everybody I know cry the past couple weeks. I have seen men that I work with professionally cry. I have seen everyone cry. And so, like, if you're crying or if there's a lot coming up, you're not alone. Everybody in the collective is going through this. It's just bizarre to me. I've cried a lot. I always have things to cry about. But it just seems like for everyone, there's like a lot going on. I'm just shocked. I've been holding people while they've been crying. I've held so many people while they're crying. I've held myself while I was crying the past couple weeks. So don't worry about that. It's the full moon. But this is just a huge time of change. This Mercury retrograde has hit me hard. Not like I'm not complaining, it's not bad. I like to embrace change, you know? And I think that's kind of what this card is saying, is embrace it. If things are falling apart, if things are uncertain, if you're changing your mind, if your future doesn't make sense anymore, then embrace it. Sometimes we get to this point in our life where we're too set, we're too secure, we're too comfortable, and life is constantly wanting us to shed, you know, to get rid of those leaves and those dead branches that don't serve us so we can make room to grow and to expand into further greatness and beauty. So you're expanding to a whole new level in your life, and we're being asked to grow and to change. And they're saying, let your intuition guide you. You use your heart and your intuition to make decisions, to navigate in life. But then you use your logic, your strategy and your logic and your, you know, that rational side of your brain helps you follow through and make the decisions and make things happen. So it's all about balance right now. Follow your intuition. I think too many people are trying to make decisions with their head. You make a decision with your heart. You follow through with your head. That's how we need to do it right now. Big messages. So how about we take it to my new deck. Ooh, oh my God, it's so beautiful. I love this deck. A lot of you guys have been recommending this deck to me. I finally got it. The Enchanted Tarot. So let's see what this has to say about the full moon energy and what's going on right now in the collective. The Nine of Hearts. So, and we got it reversed, which whenever I get a new deck, I don't usually read reversals until I get to know the deck better, but I am seeing like there is a duality to this card, which I'll explain. But this card is all about fulfillment, and it's saying you need to know what fulfillment really is. A wish may be granted, but in its own time and in a possibly unexpected way. Be sure to wish for what is best for you and yours, for you will probably get what you want. Oh my gosh, that's so good to hear. The Nine of Hearts. So this has a lot to do with our manifestation. So they're saying, make sure you've put it out there, what you want. You know, a wish is going to be granted, but usually the universe has like really different ways that like it can work out. I use this example a lot because it's been a huge part of my spiritual journey, but ever since I was little, I wanted to be a fashion stylist, and I dreamed and dreamed, you know, turning through the pages of the magazines of, you know, being in magazines, being a part of that world, participating, styling, modeling. And funny enough, you know, here I am 13, 14, 15 years later, actually doing that, having a job as a creative director and a fashion stylist and a model in the industry. And there were some things I didn't realize, like I had these certain expectations of how this was all going to be. I thought I would be in New York. I always had this dream of like living in New York, but funny enough, I ended up launching my career in LA, and it ended up being perfect for me, and I love it. And I've spent time in New York, but I realized I love the West Coast. And so long story short, you might have a certain vision of your life or of this plan or of how this is going to manifest. And it might manifest a little bit differently, but usually when it manifests in a way that's perfect for you and in a way that's even better than you could have wished for and thought of. And, even if you're negative and even if you are worried and freaking out, like you still are going to receive what you want. I think in the spiritual community, sometimes people get too obsessed with think positive and think negative and this and that. It's about what's in your heart, and it's also about realizing that the universal energies love you. Realizing that God is love, the universe is love, all is love and light. And trying to push away those worries and thoughts doesn't always work because they just keep coming back. So loving yourself, being present with yourself, even when you're negative, even when shit's going down, just remind yourself that you're here for you. The universe is here for you. There's nothing you can do that's gonna piss off Mother Earth and the planet and cause her to reject you. I mean, even everything we've done to this planet, the Earth still loves us. The Earth still provides for us. The Earth is still here for us. So I'm just feeling this message it's important to flow your energy in an authentic way. It's not about, being positive. It's not about trying not to be negative. It's just about being you. It's about showing up for your life. It's about following your guidance. It's about looking out for the signs, trusting that the divine forces are partnering with you and helping you. And if you just open your heart and you open your mind to these possibilities, they'll start to present themselves to you. And this is actually saying that satisfaction will be achieved for all of us. Our wish is going to be granted. It can come to us in an unexpected way or even after a delay. So things might appear to be delaying right now. Remember, it's Mercury retrograde. Things appear like they're going backward, but actually things are moving forward. And they're saying, this is a time to really wish for things that are long term. The energy is ripe right now for you to start thinking more about the bigger picture in your life and what you want long term. That's why people are starting to break down and make really big decisions, like moving somewhere or entering into a new relationship or leaving a relationship or investing in something or having a child or, there's a lot going on right now. Big decisions are going to be made through this time. So this is also talking about love relationships, and so it's a really positive message about spring for coming, metaphorically for a lot of people, positive love connections. So yeah, let's see what else we have going on with this full moon. Any other tips for us to help us manifest? Have compassion, and I feel like it's important to have compassion with yourself first. Because if you have compassion with yourself, it's a lot easier to have compassion with other people. Some of the meanest, most bitter people I ever knew in my life were people that I look back and notice that they didn't really love themselves. And I realized, I don't want to be mean and bitter to people like that. And I have to work on loving myself. I have to work on making sure that I feel comfortable in my own skin and that I feel safe and I feel grounded and I feel secure in who I am. And that way that I can generate that peace to other people around me. That's my goal for my life. I want to be a role model of serenity and peace. And part of that is having compassion with yourself first, to realize you're human, you make mistakes, you say stupid things, shit goes down, it's okay. Also having compassion with other people, realizing people do the craziest things when they are hurt and they're afraid and they're scared, and when they don't feel like they have that love for themselves, when they feel disconnected from source and from other people. And so maybe there's some people that have hurt you and that might be coming up right now, and they're saying, compassion isn't excusing those people for what they've done. It doesn't mean you have to hang out with them or allow those people in your life, because it's important to have healthy boundaries and to not allow people to hurt you or abuse you continually. But compassion is saying you're not going to allow those people to affect you every day. You're not going to allow that anger to hold you back in bitterness and resentment to the point to where it distracts you from living your mission and your purpose and going on your journey. So that's a huge theme right now. Serenity, oh my gosh, I was just talking about how I want to be a role model, or actually, I am a role model of serenity and peace. That's actually one of my favorite affirmations. You can say it with me if you want. I am a role model of serenity and peace. And they're saying obedience. There's a lot of, okay, so as you go, sorry, my legs are like hurting so bad right now. As you go to make big changes, you're gonna start to feel worried about, should I make this change? Should I make this choice? Should I make this change? Because you start worrying, what is my boss gonna think? What is my dog gonna think? What is my sister gonna think? What are my parents gonna think? What is my significant other gonna think? What is this person gonna think? What if I hurt this person? What if I hurt that person? What if I do this or that? And you have to realize that, like, you need to think of yourself first when you make choices. You have to think of yourself first and trust your choices. Sometimes in life, that certain moves you make and certain choices you make are gonna hurt people around you, and you're just gonna have to like flow through that, because you can't always make everyone happy. The most important thing is to make yourself happy. And if you're living your life for your parents or for someone else out there, you're gonna get to this certain age where you're just gonna have this breakdown and you're gonna get depressed, because, you know, I love what Jim Carrey says. Jim Carrey says depression is your avatar telling you that it's sick of basically not being who you truly are. So you might feel obedient to society, to other people. And I talk about this a lot on my channel, because a lot of you guys who are watching are artists. You're very artistic, you're clairvoyant, you're a little bit different. And, you know, you might feel obedient to have this certain lifestyle, to like work this job 9 to 5, to just kind of be stuck in the shuffle and the hustle, when what you really want to do is express yourself, and what you really want to do is be a dancer, or to be a makeup artist, or to be a writer, or to be a comedian, or to be a tarot reader, or, you know. So they're saying, like, don't worry what people are going to think. This is something that I struggled with for so long. It was just ridiculous. It's just so funny how it gets to you, you know, where you basically just think that it matters so much and you feel like you're going to let people down. But the person you have to worry the most about letting down is yourself. You don't want to let yourself down. So let's pull a final card for you for this full moon energy. This is talking about responsibility. They're saying, like, you're the one who takes on responsibilities, and you can easily just let go of them whenever you want. So trust yourself with the responsibilities that you take on and with the ones you let go of. Peace out, you guys.